Should you accept free work as a travel content creator? I mean, when I say free work, I mean work that you don't physically get money for. Well, I'm Kerwin, the Travel Blogger 101, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So I saw something in Threads where somebody was saying you should never accept work that you're not getting paid for, i.e., work that's a barter. So basically, a brand decides to give you something for the instead of money for the work that you're doing. And th there are lots of ways to think about this. And so one thing is you're not always going to get paid for the work that you do. Sometimes when you just start off as a travel content creator, you got nothing. And so if you got nothing, you don't really have anything to offer the brand. And so what a lot of brands do is they will give you free stuff and say, "Hey, promote this product for me for free, and you can keep the product." Is usually what you'll see. Now, there are lots of schools of thought about this. So if you're just starting out and somebody says, let's say, you're into travel and somebody gives you a bag and said, hey, promote this bag for me. The bag is worth $40 and they want you to promote it for them. You got no followers, in essence, when I say no, you don't have enough that will make a dent on their product or get people to buy it. So you don't really have any track record. And they're giving you a free bag. And like, hey, I got a free bag from bag company A, and I'm promoting it, no cost. So I mean, you can do that because you're just starting out and you're trying to build a portfolio. The thing is not to make this a, it's what I'm looking for. Don't make this a thing because brands get accustomed to it. And what they end up doing is always wanting something for free. Now, I've done a lot of free work. Uh, I mean, but when I say free work, you have to think of it. I don't think of it as free work. I don't get dollars in my pocket. But I'll give you a number of examples. When I do travel conferences, uh, how it typically works, if I'm speaking at a conference, for example, it's unpaid because some of these conferences don't pay their speakers. But what you do get is they will fly you from your home to where the conference is, and you'll get some hotel nights based on how long the conference is. And they normally, the hotel that they book you at will cover usually breakfast. Dinner is usually not covered because normally you have some kind of engagement in at night, so you don't have to worry about food. But you don't get physical money out of your pocket. But if I had to, normally it's a destination that I want to visit, or if I visited the destination before, uh, I've not done some of the stuff that I know I'm gonna get when I'm there with the organization. One thing the organization will give you is access. So there's some things that money can't buy. And like sometimes you get to meet people, you get to go to unique behind the scenes experiences that is just not allowed if you're a regular visitor. And you get a unique perspective into things. Sometimes you get to meet the mayors of cities, which you normally don't get. So if that's your thing, then that is worth more than them paying you or giving you money or something like that. Also, when you do these trips that are not paid, so you don't get money in your pocket for them, you need to think about the value. So like on these speaker trips, I try to fly an airline that either I've never flown before or I make sure I get the airlines that are part of my frequent flyer program. So I'm American Airlines is currently, which is One World, is currently my airline of choice. And so whenever I go to these conferences, I try to fly that particular airline as much as possible, or airlines within the One World Alliance, because then I can get my airline points. And so to me, that's cash because I would have had to pay for those trips myself. And I'm not paying for those trips myself. Somebody else is paying for those trips, but I'm reaping the benefits of the mileage and stuff like that. Normally, I don't have control over hotels because the hotels are often with the local brands and they want to promote some local brands. And so they give you random hotels. And I don't think I've ever stayed at a name brand hotel and gotten, or maybe once. I think I did a Hilton once, and I got the credit for that into my Hilton account. And so this is the kind of stuff that whenever you're thinking about taking a trip that you're not going to get paid for, in terms of cash, you're just getting exchange, is think about what are your goals. So I love to fly new airlines. I like to fly new airplanes. I like to visit new countries, new airports. And so if the conference is in a place where all those things are happening, then for me, it's not payment enough, but it is payment because for me to have gone and visited that new country, visited a new airline, I mean, flown that new airline, visited that new airport, flown that new aircraft type, I would have had to pay for that myself. So I would have to take money out of my pocket. I don't have to take that money out of my pocket. So I'm getting paid in kind. Now, what happens is some brands, they have like really cheap products. And what they want you to do is they'll need like blog posts and they'll need like Instagram posts. And there's a whole slew of things. Um, you need to ask yourself, let's say you charge $500 for an Instagram post, right? And a brand invites you to stay in their hotel, but the hotel is only like $100 a night and they want one Instagram post. Clearly, the value doesn't equate to anything because the hotel is only $100 a night and you charge $500 for Instagram posts. So you're giving away $400. So what you need to do is to figure out how can I get $400 more value from this deal? And you need to negotiate that. Don't be afraid to say no if the value doesn't add up for you. If you're just building your portfolio, oftentimes you do have to take these crappy deals. And the reason why you take them is because you have no content and you want to be able to provide content for your readers that would have normally cost you money. The other thing you have to think about is you can do something as an exchange, and then you take that content and it's yours, and you can repurpose that content elsewhere. Um, so some people say never, never, never take free, but it just depends. And when you're starting out, you got you got nothing. And so because you got nothing, you have to do these free things. Some people are a lot more fortunate than others, and they can do these trips and they have they get really good deals and things like that, but it's not the case for everyone. So I would never say never take trips in exchange for because sometimes they do they do work out. I'm trying to think of an experience that I did that I could never have done on my own. Uh, but I can't really think of one of them. I need one of these things. Like I went to a conference and I went a cruise. And I didn't have to do anything for the cruise actually, but I got a lot of content out of it. That probably doesn't really, it's not a good example in terms of how this is, but I can't really think of one offhand. But if you can think of anything where you've actually done a something for free, and then it worked out in the end that you can actually monetize it. Because when you do these these quote unquote free things, so let's say you go to this fancy hotel somewhere and the brand didn't pay you, and but then you can use that story and you can probably pitch to another magazine and write about that experience. Um, One of the things that's really bizarre about this is that brands do take advantage of you. So brands will, um, because they want people to do something for free. Here's my thing about doing work for free, right? So the brand hires a PR company usually to do this. The PR companies are not working for free. So they charge the brand some money for free. I mean, some money to go find people to do the job. The PR companies goes out and find someone to do the job, but then they don't want to pay that person because they want to take as much of the money as possible back to the PR company. So they go and they say, hey, we'd like you to cover the story for us, but it's an unpaid assignment. Um, and a lot of established bloggers like, no, don't do it, because you're setting a bad precedence for others. But then as somebody who just started out, you're like, well, what am I supposed to do? I don't have any. This is work. Um, and I'm doing it because I need to get portfolio. Then you have the other established bloggers saying, well, you're setting a bad precedent. Yes and no. Um, because Uh, you have to think of it as the little blogger out there, and I say little blogger as not a bad expression, but just say the person who's starting out, they got nothing. And all they're trying to do is to get some content. So big bloggers don't look at the little bloggers and say, hey, you're selling out, because you're not really selling out because you got nothing and you're trying to get the content in. On the other hand, brands don't take advantage of little bloggers. And I know you can get the work done for free. You can always get the work done for free, but you should really pay us because if you want to get if you, because when you ask us to do something, we are taking away from. Maybe while we're doing your free work, we get paid work and we have to turn down the paid work because we're doing your free work. And I think you should always think about that. Uh, don't, and this goes to the brands. We are not here to work for free. We are here to make money just like how you are making money. When you go into work every day, you are getting paid. When we go into work every day, we want to get paid. So you need to pay us because you are getting paid to find somebody to create that content. So you need to compensate us accordingly. So this is one of those topics where I end up talking out of two sides of my mouth because I understand how the industry works. And I know that a lot of brands don't want to pay you, and the agencies that they hire don't want to pay you either. But you can't just sit there and go, I'm waiting for a paid gig, I'm not doing anything, because it doesn't work that way. It should be that every time you leave your house, you get paid. And you hear people say, "Oh, I don't leave my house unless I have $1,000." Well, not everyone has that luxury of saying, "Hey, I'm not leaving my house until I have $1,000." Heck, if I said that, I would never have gotten any gigs because people you don't, that doesn't happen to everybody. And I see a lot of people online, they're quoting, oh, this brand contacted me and they're paying me this much. And oh my God, I can't believe that's what they're paying. I get it, you're established and you need to be paid properly. But just remember that there are other people out there that will just be glad for anybody to call them up, which is why brands take advantage because they know that there are people like that out there. So brands do not take advantage of us when you get your work done for free. But like I said, if you have to work for free, i.e., no money, through no physical dollars, then you need to evaluate what is the value of what they're asking me for, And am I getting that value from the deal? So if they want Instagram posts or whatever it is, can I get, um, is this arrangement worth it? Like, let's say you're getting a free cruise and they want you to promote the cruise on social media and stuff like that, but it's an expensive cruise. You get into stay in usually just like airlines or cruise have first class sections. They don't call them first class, but they have these fancy sections that for you to get into those sections at all, it's like, maybe 10, $20,000 or something like that. So this is something that if you had to pay for that yourself, it would cost you a fortune. Well, not a fortune, but it costs you a lot of money. And so you need to determine, can I get the access that I would normally not get if I had to pay for this experience myself. And sometimes some of these access, money cannot buy them. They come because you are sent by the brand and you're an ambassador for the brand. And so a lot more doors are open up to you and a lot more, you can do a lot more things that you would not be able to do if you walked through the front door. So I hope this helps, but I just wanted to address it because I know it's out there and I know that a lot of people have issues with this, and it just needs to be, and I just needed to address it. So you know, you can understand that. So that's all I have to say on this topic. This is Curry, the Travel Blogger 101. And leave a note below. Let me know what you think about this. I'm not this is my point of view. This is kind of, how I've ran the business, and just let me know what you think. But again, if you can't get paid for something in dollars, think about how you can monetize it post that, or how the experience that you're that they want you to do, think about how much value is that worth to you. And if you had to take money out of your pocket to do this, what it would cost you to do that. And if the experience works, if the value is there for you, then that's good. But it's always good to have some money, of course. And if you can get it, take it. If you can't, then think about, you know, the value of what you're getting, and does it work for you? This is Kerwin, the Travel Blogger 101. Have a good trip and happy travel blogging. Talk to you soon.